Right, hello again. So let me just get a couple of things out of the way. First one, so the Geoguessr Esports YouTube channel, they put up a great video of my Rural World leg against the great Simi, who we all know as my, well, not just my co-partner, but one of the best players there is. So do go and check that out. I'll leave a link below. It's a great video. They kind of put our games side by side and commentate live on our gameplay, so it's interesting to watch. And yeah, so what else is there? So you might know, you might not know that country streaks I have always thought to be a bit of a weakness of mine. However, I've done one that is good enough to get me the second place spot on the world record sheet for the new Diverse World map. So currently in second place based on this country streak. Oops, my screensaver's come up. So yeah, I've really made, in the last couple of weeks, I've made an effort to just pay attention to the kind of tips and tricks that good country streak players use. And because all the other knowledge is kind of there, it means that I just have to like focus a little bit harder on some things, and then I don't know, I found that just by paying close attention and making that extra bit of effort, I got better fairly quickly. So let's see what I manage here. And actually someone commented recently saying they kind of want me to explain my thought processes for my guesses, so this is quite a good opportunity for me to do that. So I guess this could kind of double as like a bit of a country streak tutorial. Not that I'm the expert, but hopefully it'll be a couple of things to learn. So let's just make a start. So the first one is fairly straightforward because we've got the Kenya car there, which has that kind of camera thing on the bonnet. And some of these I raced through fairly quickly, so do forgive me if I struggle to kind of keep up with my explanations. But this one, we've got the sun in the north, which puts us in the southern hemisphere. Don't recognise that bollard. We've got white road lines, which I find a bit weird. I settle on Argentina. No, I wasn't that confident there. A bit of a weird one. I wasn't expecting the white road markings. Okay, we've got possibly Turkish-looking language. You can see those kind of buildings for sure. That language helps even more. So basically going off the language, but then, you know, the landscape and the architecture do fit. We've got sea to the south, so I'm trying it out there, but not quite. So that puts us onto 3. Next one looks like Portuguese language, the do. So therefore it has to be Brazil based on, I mean, it doesn't look like Portugal, so end up quite a long way away. Northern Brazil sometimes throwing up some funny ones for me. Okay, what have we got here? South America again. I vaguely recognise this kind of government sign as being from Ecuador, and also those yellow and black arrow markings on the road you see there quite a lot. So that's what made me go with Ecuador there. So we're 5 down. Senegal, we've got the kind of rift in the sky, but I don't think I think it's rare that you really need it. It's that kind of, just kind of recognise the architecture, ended up getting quite close. But the rift in the skies are great. If you're struggling to recognise Senegal, definitely look out for that, but I don't think it's necessary that often. Okay, here we are in, just from the feel of it, it feels Balkan, and it's hard to describe the feel of a place. That's something that you can't really, that's something you kind of have to get from experience. But in terms of the specifics here, let's see what we've got. So we had a couple of number plates, and one of them had a red tab, which I think some older Albanian plates have. I end up getting close based on mountains, or kind of lack of really big mountains. Dinklage, welcome. Seems like it should be US or Canada. I have to make a bit of a call here because I don't think we have any like really explicit clues to help. It just feels not quite northern enough to be Canada for me. But then this kind of ridge of weird hills made me kind of think of the Dakotas. So I end up going there, but yes, it's kind of Wyoming. I think it's Wyoming actually. But yeah, you can definitely see those kind of hill formations in the Dakotas, I think, with that kind of colour of grass and soil. So, a bit of English language, yellow rear plates. Feels like an English national park to me, so I end up I'm just looking for things. I'm trying to see if I can make a decent guess. I think I make an okay guess. I go for the Peak District, but it ends up being Yorkshire Dales. Not a million miles off. Right, this is for 10. This is for 10. So, what have we got here? We've got... oh, I've gone straight in. I must have seen something. I guess, yeah, I guess it's Turkey. I guess that car's overtaking because it was driving on the left. Can't really remember what I saw there. Maybe there's a blue sign. Either way, landscape fits. So, that's a decent game there, 23.5k. So that takes us to 10. And next up, let's have a look. It's definitely European. Let's see if I spot anything here. It says à vendre, I think that sign. For sale in French. And, you know, we've got it gives us a couple of options, but I feel like this is France. Ends up being northern France. To take us to 11. Nigeria for me, very recognisable architecture with those kind of slate roofs that you can see on the left hand side there. I often guess around Lagos when I see that kind of building. Italian plates with the blue tab on the left and right hand side. You can see them in Albania as well, but this one I think I just felt Italy more here. I was trying to work this out. I kind of thought we were, you know, not Sicily, not northern Italy. I was trying to work it out and be, yeah, it was near Naples apparently. But I'm happy here. You know, even on 13 for me, I'm kind of thinking, yeah, this could be good because I don't play Country Streets very often, and I've never put anything insane together really. This one, just the feel of it, the kind of the road, the yellow road line, and then that's kind of the only explicit clue you have. The rest of it is just landscape really, but it felt like Brazil. This one feels like Denmark to me. Look at that kind of orangey, kind of terracotta. I don't know if terracotta is the right word actually for that kind of roof, but you see that a lot in Denmark, and then we see the signs which confirm it. But yeah, it's that kind of colour of roof you see all over the shop. Right, that is 15. Let's keep going here. This is good. Right, this is a funny one. So I'm seeing the kind of eucalyptus type trees that make me think of Australia. However, this landscape is pretty dramatic, and I'm just kind of at this point, I'm just not really sure if I've seen this kind of thing in Australia before. This kind of weird, like plateauy mountain, kind of, well, like a kind of table mountain type thing. I see a bollard there, which kind of makes me feel more comfortable that it's Australia. The sun is clearly north, and yeah, it's a bit of a weird landscape, which is kind of putting me off a little bit. But I kind of think, you know, inner Tasmania has some funny landscapes. Well, I say funny, like nice landscapes really. So that's what makes me go there. But it ends up being one of those many kind of national park areas outside Sydney. But yeah, interesting location there for sure. Learn something new. Okay, what's this? I'm guessing this is US. Yeah, I remember now. Again, like we've got the kind of road markings that you find in the Americas, but that's all we really have here. yeah, we don't have much. Like, I'm just trying to rule out any other options. I think it has to be US rather than, say, Mexico or Canada. They seem unlikely, so US ends up in Utah. Okay, right. What are we on now? We're coming up to 20 here. So this is we've got a lot of French here, and you can tell from the climate that it's not likely to be mainland France. And then you have another little clue of the fact that you have some of the car visible, but that all points me towards Réunion. With things like visible car, I always like to find a way to describe how you could guess it without the car, because you know it can be a vital lifeline if you're playing kind of competitively and you need a bit of help in a round. But generally, I like to see what you can spot that would have made you get it anyway. That's just my kind of opinion on it. Canadian flag there, so that's not difficult. We've got sea to the north, so I think of New Brunswick here and end up close. This is for 20. Nothing here really. Only landscape. A kind of red soil that almost kind of, you know, you almost see the reddish kind of road colour. It makes me think of around here. End up with a decent Brazil guess there. That's 20. So I think, you know, as I said, I don't play country streets very often. I think my PB on the old Diverse World was only 25. So this game is a big one for me then, if I can match that. Japan. I mean, you can see those posts there with the script. I don't think that's a particularly hard one. This should be Senegal again. Here there's something slightly different about the landscape that make. Normally people are guessing in that kind of western area, not too far from Dakar, just because that's where most of the coverage is. But this feels a bit different to me, so I'll go down there. Pays off. Right. Okay, I saw some Portuguese there, so this is obviously Brazil. Again, probably not a hard one. I think I was just trying to look for some extra clues to see if there are any phone numbers or anything like that. So we're getting close. We're getting very close. This, again, with those yellow plates, that really helps here. Israel. I mean, the architecture's not too difficult to spot. A lot of palm trees and generally fairly kind of mountainous country. So this is 20. Yeah, I think Nigeria again. I like looking at the buildings in Nigeria. They tell me a lot. Also, you've got the number plate there with a bit of green on it. Let's just see if there's anything that gets us even closer. Nothing that I can read there really, so. Yeah, you also have the police car following in some parts of Nigeria, but I think it's rare that you need that. Okay, that's 25. Yep. So let's see if I can beat that with this round. Ooh, okay. Looks like it's a European road with nothing around, but I know it's Spain. Like there's very kind of new looking roads with this kind of solid white lines associated with Spain. Kind of a bit flummoxed by this one. I don't really know where to guess, but there ends up being a sign that says we're near Valencia. And the fact that it's near the coast kind of makes sense because it feels I was trying to think where in the kind of middle of the country it could be, and nothing was really jumping out at me, but that will be close enough. South Korean script there. Not too tricky. flying through the rounds now. We're definitely approaching 30. Sorry. Okay, that was a funny one at first. We've got a US flag and a Canadian flag. That is a bit off-putting. I actually thought of Wisconsin. I ended up going in Minnesota, but for some reason Wisconsin was on my mind as well here. Maybe it's something to do with this kind of snowy coverage which you can get. So yeah, it's Wisconsin. Right, okay, this one I thought could be Peru or Argentina based on first glance. However, this kind of political, it looks like kind of political advertising. I strongly associate with Peru, and then these black and white posts by the side of the road here really make me strongly think it's Peru. It's kind of dry, which kind of puts us north or south. I picked the wrong one here, which is unfortunate, and I'm not happy with that. Lingering on it and probably telling myself off. Right, this time again with the yellow central road markings, but there on the back of that sign you see a kind of cross shape, and that is something that is fairly specific to Colombia. And that is the kind of tip I've been trying to implement recently. It's the kind of thing that the country streak pros are always kind of looking for, and it's something I need to get a bit more consistent with thinking about. So that puts us on 30. Right, Pigeon Island, what's this? Again, we've got those black and white posts. I mean, Peru isn't the only place that has them. I find them in Malaysia, Sri Lanka. But I feel, I'm not sure, yeah, I just think I know it basically. So you've got that kind of green Sri Lankan tuk-tuk as well. I'm seeing if I can spot this island. I don't think it's worth looking too hard. Let's see. Definitely Sri Lanka. Okay, right. We're getting there. We're getting 31. I think we're on now. This looks Japanese to me, something like that. Could have been a bit of confusion with South Korea maybe based on, but I thought the architecture looked just a little bit more Japanese. End up way off, which can happen in Japan. It throws up some funny ones. Just kind of had to hope this one was a US. Really, it's one that doesn't necessarily fill you with confidence on it not being Canada, but pick the right one. I feel like I know this. I feel like it's Ghana. I think I'm deliberately not looking at the car to kind of, because yeah, as I say, I like to see what I can get based on how it looks first. I think I drop it near Kumasi, and I just do a little check there. Pushing 35 now. Portuguese there with the A, with that accent over the top. And then it says noroeste, which means northwest. So I'm thinking, right, where in northwestern Brazil can we be? I kind of rule out like kind of Roraima or Amapá. So I kind of think maybe at a push, Maranhão could be considered northwestern. And that seems to fit more. And it was 35, I think we're on now, which is big for me. This is for 36, and this one I think took me a bit of time. My instinct here was Malaysia, I think, but there's quite a lot to look at here with the restaurant, and I was just scouring to see if there's anything. Like often in Indonesia you might see a flag. You can see some kind of signs in the distance there, definitely pushing me towards Malaysia. But the other thing is, if you're next to a shop or a restaurant, if you can see the currency, that's a great clue to help tell them apart, because Malaysia you have ringgits, which will be RG, or in Indonesia you'll have like rupiah, which will be RP, I think. And I settle on this bit of coast. I think I spent a while looking here. Let me just... Yeah, I'm really looking around carefully. Not wanting to make a mistake. I think I'm ready to guess. End up fairly close. Okay. Again, another one, like, I think Brazil, a lot of the times you're not getting any like big clues, but it's just the feel that, again, with this kind of red soil, I just feel like I have to be somewhere in that kind of Mato Grosso area, maybe. Now what? I think this was a tough one for me as well. There's not a lot going on. I think... Okay, so apparently it's making me think of northern Israel. Can't... The bollard looks kind of like a Spanish one. And I don't recall what the Israeli bollards look at all. However, the road markings don't look Spanish. They look more like what you'd find in Israel. So I'm just, you know, because I'm at this stage in the streak, I'm trying to avoid making any mistakes. I'm thinking they're of Spain, but I know deep down it's not. Okay, this is to push 40 now, just a couple more. So Moto Park, it says. Now notice again, we've got that cross on the back of the sign, but this time I'm really not confident about it. I can't see any yellow plates, which you'd associate with Colombia. The mountains look a bit different, like they've got a bit more dryness. I know you can find that in like the Neiva Valley. But yeah, generally the mountains here are making me think more of... I don't know, they don't quite look Peruvian either, but there's something not quite right to me. So I really... Yeah, can't see a number plate. Number plates can be a big help from Colombia, but we can't see any. Like, even when I zoom in there, nothing. If anything, they look like they're not yellow, but... yeah. So I think I settle on that Neiva Valley because it's a bit drier. However, it ends up being a funny spot. Let's just... I'm ready to guess. Come on. You got it. You got it. Yeah, I've never had a location there, in that tiny little valley right next to Venezuela. So that's why it looked funny to me. I've never really seen it before that I know of. Right. Very blurry language. Can't get much from it. Don't seem to have any blue on the plates, which kind of makes me think of... At first, I think that made me think of like Croatia or something, but I think I ruled that out. And basically, I end up... Again, this one takes me a while. I end up using something that Radu taught me about, which is these pylons with the kind of hollowed out bits in the middle. You can find them in a few European countries, but when they're painted like they are here, that often tells you that it should be Romania. So Radu again bailing me out here. I think I spend ages on this, just making sure, because I don't want to mess up here. This is for 40, which is big for me. Go for it, and we're fine. That's 40. Right. Okay, what's next? How far can I push this? Can I get 50? 50 for me would be huge. Okay. Right. Okay. Landscape and architecture here. Making me think of Italy, particularly with that kind of yellow colour we had on that house. That's what really made the difference for me here. That made me feel fairly comfortable guessing in Italy. Sicily it was. And now, just watch this. Watch what happens here. This is insane. I'm going to tell you, I'll break this down in just a second. But look what I do here. My concentration just completely lapses. I need to break that down. What happens is, I look in the... at this point, my concentration just dips. And I turn around and I see that Tamil script. I don't even read the words above it. I don't even spot that we had a Malaysian flag up there. I mean, if I look at the words above it, it's so obviously Malay or Indonesian, but I don't even look. I just look at the script and I just go straight in. And that's just the sloppiest way to end the streak imaginable. Got the flag. And it's just... I mean, in a way, I don't even know if I can be annoyed. Like, it wasn't my knowledge there that was lacking. It was just my concentration dipped, and sometimes that happens. I just focused on the first clue I saw and thought that was enough. But yeah, 42, pretty good, and that gets me second place on the world record sheet for the new diverse world map. So happy to be there. Number 1 currently taken by Wolf Trekker, who managed 60. So shout out to him, great player. But yeah, I think I can be, with my newfound confidence in country streaks, maybe I can be pushing that soon. Anyway, go and check out the esports video as I recommended. I'll leave a link below. But yeah, thanks for watching. Hopefully people who want to learn a bit have learned a couple of tips here. That's kind of my aim. But yeah, thanks for watching. See you soon.